Does it go that way or the other way? Do apple seeds have arsenic in them? Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name's Tammy and this is the time-long reset method. In today's video, I am showing you how I make apple cider vinegar from start to finish. We're going to start 3 months ago on the 28th of October, and this is me filming the intro with the completed vinegar 3 months later on the 27th of January 2026. I hope you enjoy the video. It is a bit long because I'm learning as I'm instructing, but it is worth it. This vinegar is absolutely perfect. Let's jump right in. Look what's arrived! Not one, but two 4-liter dispenser jars that I've just washed. I ordered these second-hand on Fermented. Fermented is one of my new favorite places to shop. I was actually looking for really big jars without the dispenser part, but for my vinegar making purposes, these are perfect. When I say we, I mean I am going to take you along with me, and we are going to go pick some apples that have fallen from the trees in the valley near my house. Wild apples. I think they're wild apples. They're a little bit smaller than what you get in the shops. I am back from apple picking. This is quite a large bag that I've got here. Just dissolving all the bicarb, and time to tip the apples in. These are all the apples, and I'm just going to give them all a nice little scrub. So what I like about these apples is I know for a fact that there are no pesticides on them. Let me come back to you once I've washed all of these and they are drying. They are all washed and I have rinsed the bicarb off. Looking good. It is the next day and it is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. But the season's changed. It's getting dark right now and I haven't even made my apple cider vinegar yet. I've got it open here on my phone, and the first thing that I need to do is assemble these 2 glass jars, put the spigots in, and then chop up those apples. You can watch me. I'm just making sure that it's like extra tight. I feel like that's on pretty well. Both jars are prepped and it's time to start cutting these apples. The recipe says that we can put the stems in, that we can put the core in, that we can put the seeds in, that we can put the skin in, we can put every part of the apple in. Some of these apples look like they've been picked at by birds. Some of them also look like they've got wormholes, so I think that I will just casually inspect every apple when I cut it and just make sure that there is no worm, because that grosses me out. It's probably not going to kill me, but I would prefer to not have worms in my apple cider vinegar. That being said, something else I noticed that will be good to mention is that the skin of these apples feels tacky, and I couldn't understand why, because they were picked from the ground, and I know for a fact that they would not have been sprayed with pesticides or with wax or with anything like that. So yesterday I washed them in bicarbonate of soda, and I googled this morning why they're sticky, and they naturally release a waxy substance to prevent the moisture inside the apple escaping. So having a tacky, sticky-ish apple is perfectly natural. And now that we've discussed that, let me get cutting before the sun sets. Another thing that I'm mentioning very quickly is that the recipe doesn't say what size to cut the apple up into. So I'm cutting it into about 2 centimeter square cubes, and also it says that we need to fill the jars halfway-ish. So as I'm cutting the apples, I'm just evenly distributing them until the apples are finished or until both of the jars are halfway. Have you heard that there is arsenic in apple seeds, which is why you're not supposed to feed them to dogs? I'm not sure about this myth, but it's making me think of it because there's a whole bunch of apple seeds that are sort of popping out as I'm slicing through the core. Do apple seeds have arsenic in them?
According to Cider Vinegar, apple seeds contain cyanide.
Okay, so it's cyanide, not arsenic. Great. But I'm cutting through the seeds. Will putting apple seeds in my vinegar create cyanide poisoning? No. Putting apple seeds in vinegar will not create a cyanide poisoning hazard. While apple seeds do contain a cyanide releasing compound called amygdalin, it is only toxic if the seeds are crushed, chewed, and consumed in large quantities. I'm definitely releasing some amygdalin. In significant exposure, even if some of the amygdalin were to seep out, the amount would be negligible and not enough to cause harm. We can continue. That being said, I think I'm just going to try to not slice through the apple seeds. That'll be for the best. I don't know about a bruised bit neither, but I'm just going to cut that bit off. I'm pretty sure that's a worm. We're approaching the halfway mark and I've still got a lot of apples to go, and so that means I've been able to be a bit choosy. Those are the apple scraps. Suspected worms, deep bruising, split seeds, you know, we don't have to use them. Whether they are going to be okay in the vinegar or not, I don't know, but we're not using those parts. I'd love to tell you that this is therapeutic, but it's taking a long time. Honestly, it's gonna be worth it, I'm sure. The apple stems are going in because I couldn't be bothered to separate those as well, unless they come off naturally. I've still got all these apples left, but those are definitely halfway full, so I'm going to stop now and move on to the next step. All the icky bits. Diced apple chunks or scraps enough to fill half of your chosen fermenting vessel. The next step is 1 tablespoon of sugar per cup of filtered water. Pour lukewarm filtered water over the apples into the container until it is almost full, but measure, note the amount. Stir in the sugar. Add a splash of organic vinegar. Unfortunately, I don't have any, so we're not going to be able to encourage the cultures. Stir combined ingredients until thoroughly mixed and cover with breathable material. Store in a dark location for 2 weeks to ferment and stir every day to prevent mold from forming on top. Let's get going. I have a 1 liter jug. I have sugar. I have filtered water. And I have a kettle with some hot water. I feel like it's very safe to assume that both of these jars are going to take about 2 liters of water each. So I'm going to dissolve 8 teaspoons of sugar in the first liter of water, and I'll probably make it about half a liter with hot water from the kettle. Let it dissolve and then fill up till the liter mark, and then put in another liter of cold water. That's 8 tablespoons. Half a liter. Just gonna get this to dissolve first. That's dissolved, but it's quite hot still. So add in until 1 liter. The first liter going in. And the second liter. Is this too much? One down. And a hair elastic. This is a microfiber cloth and a hair elastic. Needs must. Round 2. Eight teaspoons. Start off with some hot water to dissolve the sugar. I have another bottle. This is the first liter. And the second liter. Stirring up the second batch. Another microfiber cloth. Another hair tie. There are my 2 jars of apple cider vinegar. I've just checked. 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit is about 21 to 22 degrees Celsius, so it needs to be in a warmish place, but it needs to be in the dark. So I'm going to throw a blanket over the vinegar, and then I need to open it up every single day and stir it. So for the next 2 weeks I will be opening it up and stirring it. It is day 2. No, it is day 1 of the fermentation process for these 2 apple cider vinegars, and it's time to give them a stir. So last night I covered them in this blanket, and the kitchen is the warmest room, so dark space, warm room, sorted. It smells a little appley in here. Bring out the first one. That smells very nice, and it's a little bubbly. That's what it it looks like. Get the second one. I'm going to stir this one with you so you can see the bubbles, because after I'd stirred it a few times you didn't actually get to see what was going on here. See, there's some bubbles starting on the top. So the reason that we stir every day for the next 2 weeks is that we want to make sure that the sugar doesn't settle at the bottom, and we want to make sure that mold doesn't grow on the top. I think that is looking good. Although I'm looking at this one and I'm seeing some dark pieces sticking up, and I just want to push them down. Remember, I had all of those leftover apples still from yesterday. It occurred to me that I should just make more vinegar. I didn't have any other big jars other than the one that I'm saving for good kombucha, which my SCOBY's on its way, so I didn't want to use that one. So I had these 2 little jars. This is the first stir of the little ones. Done. Oh, you can see it from this angle. And done. Now to just close all of these guys up. And then I have these 2 random pieces of fabric that are too small for me to make doorstops out of for more creations. And they are actually both linen, so nice and breathable. I'm going to use them for these ones. Done, and let's cover them up with the blankets. But I think that should block most of the sunlight. Done. It is day 2 of fermentation for the big ones and day 1 of fermentation for the little ones. We don't need this here. Let's have a look. Huh. That smells vinegary. I also feel confident that there's no sugar left sitting at the bottom. So I think this is fermenting really well. Let's open the next one. Looks just as good. Smells just as vinegary. Do you see the little bubbles forming? I think this is coming along so well. Done. It has been 2 weeks and 4 days since I started making the apple cider vinegar. I have stirred the vinegar every single day bar one day, which was on Friday when I forgot. Looking fantastic. And there were enough apples to do 2 smaller jars, so I did these the following day. So these have been fermenting here for 2 weeks and 3 days. Now that I've shown you the jars, I've done the reveal, it is time for me to strain them. So my intention is to strain but then put all 4 of them back into one jar and wash the other jar. Just for interest's sake, that is what it looks like inside. I had a feeling that this wouldn't work. I've just roped Paul in to help me because I need 4 hands. All the fruit pieces must go in as well, so just empty it upside down. Things got a little crazy, but the first jar is done. We are moving on to the second jar. I didn't actually know what to do with the apple scraps, so they're just in paper for now. That ended up being quite a situation with quite a lot of mess and a great uncertainty of what to do with the apples. And I thought that all 4 jars would fit into the one, which was not the case. So now I've got 2 portions of vinegar, and I am thinking they need to be stored in a cool, dry place like a pantry, which I don't have. So I'm thinking of putting them on top of the fridge and wrapping a blanket around them again. And then they need a minimum of 1 month for the second fermentation, but 3 to 4 months is better. So you'll hear from me again soon. So here they are on top of the fridge. I think that this is the best place for them. Now they're out of the way, and I will just put a reminder on my phone to check them in 2 months, maybe 3 months. I'm still deciding. But they're protected from the light, and they've got nice fresh cut up cotton t-shirt as the protector on top, and I think they look great. It is going on 3 months since I made the vinegar, and there they both are right up there. Time for the big reveal. I made these on the 29th of October 2025, and it is the 27th of January 2026. I don't know about you, but I think that these are beautiful. It looks like a mother is floating here on the top, and we've got some sediment at the bottom. I guess it's time for the taste test. Moments of truth. I am going to pour this out, strain it into a separate bowl, and then taste it. And if it tastes good, I'm going to bottle it. Glass bowl, strainer, and a second jug because there is a lot of liquid in this jar. Here goes. This smells like vinegar. Big time. It's also said that this over here is a type of SCOBY that can be chopped up and fed to the birds. Let's get going. A little fuzzy. This is what the vinegar looks like, and that's what the SCOBY looks like. Taste test. I'm a little nervous. That is potent, but that is the nicest apple cider vinegar I have ever tasted. I'm bottling this. I have been saving all of these jars for this exact opportunity. I think I might have discarded this last little bit because of all the sediment. We still have one more jar. one is a little darker. It's still so good. That's all my apple cider vinegar. Very sincerely, I am so impressed with myself right now. My first batch of apple cider vinegar. Those are the empty jars, so that is, it's going on probably about 5 liters of apple cider vinegar. Isn't it beautiful? And this is the remnants of the last little bit of residue inside there. Let's see. You can see. Just, I'll leave that behind. Homemade apple cider vinegar. I can see some sediment is forming here at the bottom as well, but that's fine. This is healthy apple cider vinegar. The instruction is now for me to store these in a cool, dark place. They will be at their best flavor for the next 2 years, but they will last for up to 5 years. I think I have my supply of apple cider vinegar is complete. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was 3 months in the making. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to like this video, and for more homemade items, please subscribe down below. Until next time, I hope that you have the most wonderful day. Bye for now.